Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome. Namaste. My apologies for not being on yesterday. I am in the process of integrating following last week's retreat. For those of you that are just popping in, my name is Sadhana. Hi, I'm an intuitive reader and healer, and last week I was teaching a Reiki training retreat with other healing practices as well too, including yoga, and I just love holding space for this sort of work and accompanying people on their journeys. Yeah. So today I want to share with you reflection that has come post solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse was not visible from where I live, but the intensity of it certainly was felt. And I've had some different visualizations, and of course I'm sure you have seen pictures of the fire ring around the moon. And just that image in itself might make you think of other things, but almost as if there's the fire, the solar energy is breaking down. I use the word below, disintegrating. I'm going to read what I wrote there in just a moment. Taking apart the bits of the moon into pieces so that we can see them more clearly, so that we can work with the bits and the pieces. And it just felt like that eclipse was kind of helpful in that way. And so before I get too distracted, I'm just going to read what I wrote below if you'd like to follow along. Disintegrate. So this word often has a negative connotation. Instead of thinking of disintegration as a weakening or somehow making one less than, can we not embrace this concept as creating space where our energies were previously too dense? So I see that light, that fire behind the moon, breaking down like a laser beam, breaking down, making space, creating little cracks in the pavement so that we can more easily break off a piece to work with. What did the stages of the solar eclipse loosen within you? Did the sun blast something open in your dark waters? Acknowledging that the moon is connected to our lunar energy, to our to shadow work, working through our deep patterns, our deep unconscious patterns, karmic patterns, and so forth. Do things feel a bit messy at the moment? And so there was a few different songs that were coming to mind, and I know all of the lyrics from these songs don't necessarily connect to this, but I remember lying in a yin yoga class, and the teacher had this amazing playlist, and at that time I had never heard Jason Mraz's song, What a Beautiful Mess This Is. And there's this line where they're picking up trash in dresses, and it just really touched my heart about embracing the messiness of life. And I think when we come to a place like this, when we come to a stage in our life where we're feeling the messiness, where we're feeling like we're not entirely got our stuff together, we would benefit from embracing the messiness. How can we be present and content knowing that the mess is here? It is here It is our now, sorry, I'm going to read that again. How can we be present and content knowing that the mess is here? It is our now, and it just is. And what a beautiful mess this truly is. Let's focus today on being present here and now. Be content and find self-compassion amidst the messy bits. Okay. So I'm going to do a message today for the collective. And the intention of this reading is to focus on the messy bits and perhaps what the messy bits may have to offer. So take a breath in and a breath out. Feel your feet on the floor. Because often when we're moving through challenges like this, it can be the grounding experience is really important. Maybe if you're lying down, turn your palms over, feel the floor, feel the earth beneath you. This is a reading for the collective on the 26th of April, 2023, post-solar eclipse. How can we embrace the messiness, and what is the message that we need to hear in what was broken apart? Okay, I'm just feeling like not many cards want to come off the top. Okay, so, oh my goodness. All right. This particular card, so we are in Western astrology, Taurus. We're in the season of Taurus, and in the teachings of tarot, in the foundation of tarot, through the Golden Dawn, amongst other systems, the minor arcana is also associated to astrology, and this is the card for this particular decan, the first third of Taurus season. So it's kind of an exclamation mark here, having this card show up. Kind of beautiful. So let's look at the energy of this and understand why this card should be showing up here. And there is an experience here of separation. Separation perhaps from spirit. Perhaps this is creating a sense of loneliness. It may create self-doubt. And however separation is appearing in your life and in your world, know that the steps that you have taken are exactly right for you. You have gone in the right direction, and this space that you have created for yourself in conjunction with the solar eclipse, the intentions that you have been setting out are indeed for your greater good. The Five of Pentacles is often interpreted as it's a lonely card. It's a scary card. It can reflect upon financial strife or material strife, loss of money, loss of home, and so forth. But I think it's much bigger and bolder and braver than that, in that we recognize that stepping away from our comfort zone is only going to help us learn and grow and understand in a way that we wouldn't experience if we stay in the present circumstances. Now, along the way, however, there will be gifts, there will be offerings, there will be people who want to support and to help. And that, recognizing that you are not alone. So yes, you have stepped away. Yes, you have chosen separation, and that might be a little hard to hear for some people, that you have chosen separation. Your subconscious, right, has chosen to step away, has chosen this. And if you are, for example, maybe you're going through the breakup of a relationship, you're going through divorce, there's a part of you deep down inside that knows this is the way, this is the way forward. And so to embrace that, but also simultaneously honor your independence, your courage in stepping away, and be available for help from others along the way. So we have Five of Pentacles, Princess of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so lots of pentacles. A very earthy reading. And I would say that, as I was saying, so when I asked you to take a deep breath in and out, and I mentioned about grounding, turn your hands over on the floor, feel your feet on the floor, kick off your shoes, kick off your slippers, take a deep breath in, scrunch up your toes in the carpet, in the blanket, and feel it. Feel your feet. Be completely aware of your feet. A level of grounding and integration is really important following an eclipse. It will help with the processing of the messy bits. The messy bits. When I say that word, I want you to repeat that word. The messy bits, the sticky bits. Let it be a little lighter. Let it be a little more fun. You have the potential to see those messy bits from a different perspective because they are not so attached to everything else. What the eclipse has done is create a little bit of space between different aspects of your life, and it may give you a chance to focus on one thing or two things rather than everything, which became overwhelming. The Princess of Pentacles wants us to walk barefoot in the park. The Princess of Pentacles wants us to take a moment to lie down on the earth, to dig up the garden and kind of sit there in the dirt and pick up the earthworms in awe of their awesomeness, of all the work that they do and have been doing to prepare your garden before you actually plant your seeds. She wants us to go into the neighbor's pottery studio and, I don't know, play in the dirt, play with the clay. She wants us to go to the farmer's market and select some vegetables that we have never worked with, that we have never cooked with, to play. Princesses want us to play. They want us to experience, to feel, to be tactile. And so I can't think of anything more exhilarating than going to a farmer's market and selecting something you've never tasted before and really being in that experience. Yeah. And then there is a reminder over on the right. In the Two of Pentacles card, we often see the infinity symbol. We see the ever-evolving aspect of nature, of energy. And our part in that, we need to acknowledge. I think part of this growth, part of this experience is understanding that this is not happening to us, it's happening for us. Hello. Hi, Perry. Hi, Romeo and Dandelion. And I think those prepositions can be very, very helpful in awakening and deepening understanding. So we co-create with the universe. We co-experience with the universe. The notion of reciprocity is really, really important here. So as you walk away, as you pledge, as you affirm, I am going to walk my path. I am going to go forward in this way, even though I can still feel the fear creeping up. I allow the universe to co-create this experience with me. I will endeavor to connect with the earth in a way that I haven't done so before. I move through this with trust, and I will walk gently upon the earth. Sometimes I see the Two of Pentacles very much as this whole notion of reciprocity and the idea of balance being very much a part of that. Hi, Hannah. So this is your reading for today, and this is really profound that the Five of Pentacles is showing up here, and that it's showing up post solar eclipse. Now we do have a series of eclipses that are happening, and so this will continue to be taken apart, disintegrated even further. So the more energy you put into this, I think the easier that it will be, and the easier that it will be to integrate. Earthworms are my heroes, Perry says. Yeah, they're really, really amazing. Okay. All right. Now, Perry and Romeo, Dandelion, and Hannah, if you would like a card for today, I'm open to pulling single cards. And the idea here is that these single cards are reflecting on what is being disintegrated for you, or how you may be working through these pieces as they reveal themselves. Okay, so let me know if you would like a card. Just say so in the chat. And I may also weave in the energy of these three cards to your card. I also feel that the fact that we have, there's so much that can be read into this, but we have 3 minor arcana. So also take that as this is so doable, right? This is something you can handle. You can do this. It is a major shift in life at this time, but it's also within your hi Donna, welcome. It's also within your range of yes, you may be feeling a little messy and a little taken apart, but you can do this. You can do this. Okay. All right. So the first card is for Dandelion. Love that channel name. Okay. Now, look at this card in terms of what we've been talking about. 9. Sorry, that's my doggie. I don't know what she's doing. She might be dreaming. Look at the weight that is on the back here. Also, what's striking me is that this feels very much like a journey card. One of the things that really appeals to me is the sense that the 9 cups are behind the journeyer. The 9 of Cups, all the 9s and the 10s really can feel like a bit of an overwhelming experience. And when I think about this card sometimes being labeled the wish card, I always say to people, be careful what you wish for, but I feel like what is important here is to find the gratitude in the abundance that presently surrounds you, and know that there's no I don't know why I want to use the word shame. There's no shame in emotionally detaching yourself from what surrounds you. It is okay to move in your own way and your own journey. There is, the nines represent a completion. And so I want you to honor this as a stage, and perhaps integrating some of these messages from the previous cards, that this is exactly where you need to be, and be on your way, and be okay on your own. She is taking a lot with her, and you may want to put that down and travel a little more lightly. I can see so the colors in those cups also have a sense of lightness to them. And this makes me think of other practices, like releasing emotions, perhaps into the water, but also into the air as well too. There's a lightening quality to this. A lightening. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next card is for Perry. You're very welcome, Dandelion. Lots of earthworm fans here. Yeah, they are amazing, amazing creatures. All right, this card is for Perry. Whoa. Another card of completion and integration. I'll show you in just a second. The clover feels very significant. I can see the DNA here as well too. What I am wanting to say here has to do with an honoring of the work that you are doing. And by the work that you are doing, I mean the healing that you are doing, as being so deeply and interconnected with your DNA. This healing, this experience that you are having, this your personal journey is connected through time in all directions. And this lesson I often share, it's not always received, but what if, considering that our syndrome, our disease, our present circumstances can help to ease and heal the burden, the memories, the karma of great grandmother's trauma. Releasing that soul, freeing that soul. And then the ripple carries on through people in our lineage in all directions of time. And I think it's also important to remember that we don't know so many people in our lineage. There may have been various affairs and relationships that we're not aware of. And so the healing work that we do affects so many people. Yeah, there's just and that clover is so purple and so high frequency. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. And you know what, Perry? I have never drawn this card before in this deck. This is very special. Very special. All right. So Hannah would like a card. All right, so this next card is for Hannah. And I want to apologize for not being here yesterday. I needed time to integrate myself. Next Tuesday, I'll be back at the regular time and day. Time, day, place. Yeah. Okay. Hannah, Dancing Soul Sister, this is for you. Okay. All right, so all of the cards so far, so there's been 3 draws, are 9s and 10s. Let this number, also no major arcana. So this feels significant in that the cards are acknowledging your work. They're acknowledging what you're doing. They're acknowledging, they're mirroring your dedication to your path. They're acknowledging your dedication to your path. The wheel is turning. The experience of completion is here. So allow that wheel to turn. Don't be afraid. Move into it with an open heart. And I find it kind of funny, that I'm saying move into that with an open heart, because one of the things I've been doing lately is reflecting on where the Ten of Wands goes. Where the Ten of Wands goes. So next will be Romeo, and then Kristen, yes, you will get a card. Okay. And if we flow through the suits in the order of that mystical, magical energy of the Tetragrammaton, the Ten of Wands takes us into the waters of the Suit of Cups. And so it's almost as if, Hannah, you are, oh wow, the frequency in the room has just changed. Become extremely open. I'm not sure what happened, but there's been a big energy change in the room. Kind of mind, it feels like a complete pressure change. I just share that with you. So Hannah, it's almost as if everything you have been doing has been building towards an emotional, the awakening of a more emotional experience. So the seed that comes next, moving into the element of water, is one of open-heartedness. It's one of, and of course this is very personal, is this about diving into an understanding and emotional experience. And now let's relate this to what I was saying about the solar eclipse, kind of breaking things apart and opening you up. This might also reflect the journey into and finally understanding an emotion that has been troubling you for some time. This card is going on. It's strong enough. It's strong enough to go on, to journey now from the doing into the being, from the doing into the listening. And there's a bunch of watery keywords that are flowing through my mind. So you pick one and have a listening heart. Be open to less doing and more listening. Okay? Thank you. All right, Romeo. Romeo. Where art thou, Romeo? All right, the next card is for Romeo. Yeah, I guess it's kind of good, isn't it? It's kind of good that I'm here on a different day. Dandelion says I'm glad to be able to join in a live reading for once because it's Wednesday. Yeah. All right, Romeo. Thank you, Perry, for your supporting comments for each of these. Whoa, more very integrated energy. You know, I recently did a side-by-side of the Narrative Alchemy Tarot, which is just words, with the Waite-Smith deck. And, oh, actually, no. Is it? Maybe it is. I think that might be. I think the keyword for this card was sovereign. I think it was. Sovereign. And I thought that's a beautiful word for the King of Swords. This place where we claim and we know. There's this deep inner knowing of who we are and what we stand for, and that the choices that we make, the external doesn't influence us in the same way that it once did. Our feet are strongly on the ground, and we trust in the path and the commitments that we have made. And there's this little piece of us that understands now perhaps we are stepping into the role of mentor. This is a big it can be a big hat to wear. And I think one of the decisions when this sort of card arises is, will I take the experience of the King of Swords and continue with my self-development and give myself a little bit of space for this because I need this space? Or am I ready to guide? Am I ready to guide and support others in their journey? There's tremendous wisdom in this card. And so trust in your wisdom, trust in your, very mundane level. If you were offered, if you are offered an opportunity to speak at a gathering, this is a big yes card. If you wanted to take a little bit of time away to get that book written, this is the card that says this. This is a very wise wisdom card. And be secure also in all that you know and all that you stand for and who you are, that this is another card if you can do this. So 9s, 10s, kings, these are cards of fulfillment and richness of life's experience. And this particular suit is what can I say? It's very high on the food chain. Very high on the food chain. Yeah. I like that, Donna. Guide and support, like a beekeeper, perhaps. And I can hear certain people on their soapbox saying things, perhaps making you feel less than or questioning your path. But know that this is exactly where you need to be at this time. Okay? Thanks, Romeo. All right. So next up is Kristen. Feeling anxious about my first large in-person tarot reading in 2 weeks. Don't want to let him down, and some wisdom would be nice. Okay. Yeah, you've shared this before, and I think we were talking about it in the Facebook group, right? So please know that I have not, right? There's 3 cards that are missing from the deck, and I want to honor everything that has already been shared. I also, Kristen, I want to honor the energy of the solar eclipse and how it may be breaking down can I say, allow it to break down the armor, to just visualize the solar eclipse kind of breaking down your energy body so that the fear can dissipate, so that the fear can be released. So maybe you want to visualize yourself. And when I say the word disintegrating, please don't use that. It's such an unfortunate way that it's used in the English language. So allow the low frequency thoughts and energy to return to the earth. Allow them to seep away so that you can take the gold paint, like the kintsugi, and, put yourself together stronger and feeling more confident, that you've had this opportunity to let some of this go. So I'd say the process here would be to take some of, and I know you've been through lots of training, lots of spiritual and religious training. You have tools and practices that can help to release. So allow, pick one fear, pick one low frequency, and over the next few days, just burn it, release it, bury it, let it go. Okay? This card is for Kristen Louise, deepening her understanding of her role in this seemingly awesome, overwhelming task, the responsibility that one feels in doing a reading. Look at the colors. This is the 2 of Swords, Kristen. The B is behind the head. Okay. And again, we are minor arcana. No majors are showing up here. And so I repeat, this is just process. It's just process. And when I reflect on the 2 of Swords and the gift of turning in, the gift of listening. So part of the process, Kristen, of doing a tarot reading is to calm yourself, to feel so peaceful and connected. And I know there's a natural level of anxiety as one enters into doing readings for others. It can feel very, very scary. So any tricks, tips, things that you have done in the past, rocks in the pockets, palm stones in the hands, earthy essential oils, anything you can do to help feel grounded is really going to help. But what I'm picking up on here is that sometimes in a reading, and you will see me do this, you simply close your eyes. You don't have to be looking at the person all the time, right? You don't have to be looking into their eyes. Also, it's okay to pause, to take an extended, long breath, to say something like, this is a challenging experience. There's a lot to this. Let's take this step by step. You close your eyes and you hear a word. You might write it down on the piece of paper that's beside you. You might repeat it out loud. You might notice that the word that comes to you is a symbol that's in one of the cards of the reading. And so it directs you. It creates a path. It creates a neural pathway. Donna, I'll just go to YouTube and deal with this if I can find it. Okay. Okay. So there's I think the idea of creating space in the reading for your thoughts, creating space in the reading to breathe and to swallow. Make sure you have a drink of water. Dawn, I'm just going to add you as a moderator if I can do that. Oh, I've got to do it over here. Just a second. Okay. Okay, there we go. I've added a couple of moderators. So a moderator is a person who can moderate the chat. If people are saying inappropriate things, they can block the comments and so forth. All right, so I've added Donna and Hannah. Okay. Let me return to Kristen's situation. Another thing too would, something comes to mind. Something comes to mind in a reading, and you have your deck of cards in hand, and something arises, and sometimes I find myself going, oh, I know how I can explain that. And so I go through the deck looking for this visualization that I have in mind, this vision that I have in mind. And I say something to the effect of, let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who had a little brother. And I begin to share something through the third person because I sense that it's a very sensitive topic. And this little girl told a secret to her little brother. And you know, the story goes on, and I build the story because for some reason I want to talk about this secret, this confidentiality that was shared between these siblings. And so I have this image of this beautiful card where there's a brother and sister sitting in trust in a place like that. So that's another very powerful technique. And I feel like this card, Kristen, is showing up here so that you trust in your approach. You trust in your approach. You trust in that whatever you feel is necessary to do in the reading is okay. That there's no right way to carry through with the reading. You know, you might lay out, maybe you lay out a 9-card reading, and you're looking at the cards and you're feeling, oh my goodness, this is the wrong deck. No, this is not the right deck. And just right there, you have the perfect deck. So you give yourself permission to gather all of those cards and say something. Just, I have a much better deck that's going to answer this question more clearly. And so you do that. You give yourself permission to do that. It's really important, Kristen, that you listen. You've been reading for years. You have created an oracle deck. You've been to theology school. You've studied lots of different forms of divination. You are brilliant. You are articulate. You have a wealth of wisdom at the tips of your fingers. And so it's a matter of trusting who you are. And so, like I said earlier, take a few days and practice releasing the fear. Okay, practice releasing the fear. Consciously release it. Put it into the ocean. Put it into the earth. Give it away. Give it away. Give it back to a higher power. Okay? Yeah. No need to blush. No need to blush. Okay. All right. I believe everybody who asked for a card has had a card. Is there anyone else who would like a card? I have a couple more minutes here. I can also share with you some news. So those of you who have been following with the Pholarkos Tarot Journey, on Friday, Carmen is going to be on my channel, and it will be, yes, I can pull a card for you, these wise cards. Happy to pull a card for you. So Carmen is going to be here on Friday. So on Friday, I'm going to do the interview with Carmen at 11 Pacific. And then I also have another topic, a tarot chat, that will happen at 12 or 12:30. Okay. So there will be, I'll have 2 broadcasts on Friday. Really excited. So if you have questions, if you have been following along in the Pholarkos Tarot series, this deck, please start to prepare your questions, because she's going to be with us from Italy. Okay? All right. I think this is going to be the last card for today, and I want to welcome Diana. Nice to have you here. All right. So, post-solar eclipse, what is disintegrating for Diana? How can Diana embrace these bits and pieces, and to know that she very much is on her path, walking forward in a way that may feel separated? So, Diana, I encourage you to go back and read the, listen to the initial reading for the collective, because I have been speaking in terms of that collective reading. Okay. Hi, TJ and Georgia. Welcome. All right, this is for Diana. Yeah, this message is without a doubt loud and strong today. Okay, so your card is the Ace of Swords. Now let's reflect on this as the seed of the truth. The seed of the truth. It is in this deck, it's also being held in the right hand. It's also, the sword is in an upward direction, piercing the crown chakra. And with all that was a part of that earlier reading, I would say that your separation, your choice of moving forward and leaving a place of comfort may very well have to do with the fact that you can't speak the way that you want to speak in that environment. Now, this could be a small shift of energy, a small move from one job to another. This may have to do with moving. And all of you too, I want you to think about, what is it I am moving away from? What is it I'm in the process of moving away from? And totally to embrace that aspect of the journey. But your energy, Diana, revolves around perhaps the restriction that was placed on your authenticity in the way that you vocalize it. You have something to share, may not be fully developed yet. Okay, it may not be fully developed, but I suggest that, there's exercises like mind map exercises, automatic writing and things like that. But know that the space you are creating for yourself is absolutely necessary so that you can develop this voice. Okay? All right. Thank you, Diana. Well, I said that was going to be the last one, but let's go on. Let's go on. Okay. All right. There are 2 other people here who have asked for cards, and I will pull cards for you, and then I will be just prepping for another live stream. So I'm going to go to TJ, and TJ will be the second to last pull. And then, hi Aisha, welcome. And then the final card will be for Dr. Prachi. Okay? So this is for TJ. And I invite you to also, TJ, to go back and listen to, at the very beginning, I did a reading for the collective. And I have been, and you can also read in the description box below, focusing on the effects of and how the solar eclipse assisted each and every one of us. Oh, my goodness. The energy is very dynamic today, in taking bits and pieces of us apart so that we have more space for what is ready to come through. And sometimes this disintegration can be a lonely place. And in the collective reading, the first card was the 5 of Pentacles. And I really felt that this choice of separation, this choice of moving away from our comfort zone is exactly where we need to be in order to process what it is we're moving through. And Kristen, that makes perfect sense for you as well too, because you're moving very far out of your comfort zone in doing readings for others. Okay? All right, so this is for TJ. I really like this Knight of Swords card. It's almost like you can feel the continuing. I described this card last night as, you go to those science fairs and you see those big kind of silver balls with all the energy emanating from it. All right. If you view, TJ, the knights as they are soul questers. They are stages of one's life where you are quite literally on a quest for the truth, on a bit of a mission. Sometimes this mission can be in service of others. Other times it is our own spiritual quest. And each of the knights possess different qualities, different things they are working through and working with. And the Knight of Swords feels almost as if they are, well, they're seeking the truth. Sorry, I've got distracted. I'm looking at a picture of an owl, which is interesting because, okay, so if I want to bring together the previous cards and the idea of the collective reading, your journey, so can I say that your impression of what is happening now, the challenges that you are facing in your life, is not entirely clear. I don't think it's possible at this time for you to really know the truth. In order to know and understand what's going on, this may be in a relationship, they might be in some drama at the office. I feel like it's necessary for you to go abroad. It's necessary for you to go out in another direction, maybe to take a vacation, to give yourself some distance between you and what's happening here. Because if you don't, you won't know the big picture. I feel too that this is that the people that are closest to you require this space. There's some intensity as well too to your personality. There's some intensity to your being at this time, and it's like your being also needs this space. The colors in this card are super high frequency. So if you were considering going to a retreat, an ashram, something like that, this might be a good place to go. You might also want to be seeking a mentor to help you make sense of what it is that you are processing. Sometimes the Knight of Swords, if you view the Knight of Swords as heir of air, is lacking in grounding. So having a mentor can help make more sense of this. And if that's not the case, know that any grounding practices you can do will also aid in the process of this. So I would not suggest flying by airplane. This, if I take this quite literally, this means a journey by horse, not a journey by airplane. This would mean a good hike in the mountains to a retreat center, right? We need to slow down the frenetic energy. Okay, all right. So please take this card in conjunction with the reading for the collective that happened at the beginning of the hour. Thank you, TJ. And the final card for today is for Dr. Prachi. Okay. And also look at the color on the sides of this deck as well too. This is really interesting. You're welcome, TJ. So Dr. Prachi, how has the solar eclipse, or what is the gift of the solar eclipse for you? And once again, you can read below my thoughts and rewatch the reading for the collective. As always, we ask these messages be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Okay. The card of the alchemical marriage, the card of conscious healing. There's a word that I often use with this card that doesn't sit well with everybody, but sometimes I feel that there's a responsibility here, a responsibility to self. No one else is going to take as good care of you as you. And I don't mean if you've been working with a certain practitioner to all of a sudden abandon working with them. But at a certain point, there becomes a curiosity, there becomes a trust, an undeniable trust in that if I get involved in my healing, my wellness, that there's just something to owning this aspect of the journey. I'm not sure why I need to go in this direction, but I'm just going to trust my my connections here. And I'm going to pull, so Kristen, this is an example when I would just go through the deck and pull another card if you're here, because I want to show you that I do this as well too. And I'm going to pull out the Lover's card because I have a message in terms of that card and the relationship between that card and this card. And so perhaps part of your journey, moving out of your comfort zone, is giving yourself space from a relationship. And this could be a relationship in any aspect of your life. It could be your marriage. It could be your relationship with a very close co-worker. It could be about giving space between you and your sister. This relationship has been an important part of your self-development. You entered into this relationship consciously or not because their energy was absolutely necessary for you to deepen understanding of who you are, what you are, how you want to be, how you want to grow. And of course, I can't find the Lover's card. So let's just imagine the Lover's card is on the table. There comes a time where, you know that expression, some people come into our lives for a moment, others come in for a lifetime. Well, there's this need right now for you to find the completeness within yourself. That doesn't mean you might never go back. But there has been this theme today, and I think this is really, I think this shows that we are, while we all have separate little mini dramas, we all live our lives in different stories. There is collective energy at certain times of the year in different ways that we all respond to. And it's not uncommon that in these live readings there is a theme that emerges. And yes, I'm building a story on the initial reading, but I think Also, Dr. Prachi, this is the first card that has been a major card that has appeared. So of all of the readings that has happened today, I would say that this is the one that's going to feel the most challenging. It's going to feel the most challenging, and it might take things in a very different direction in your life. The major arcana are milestones. Okay, so this is resonating then. Sorry, I just saw that. I missed you saying that. So part of your journey alone now is to be committed to yourself as and also I think this is very important as well too. There was a gift. So regardless of how toxic that relationship became, part of the release of that energy is to be immensely grateful for that soul, for that being, for all that you learned, all that you grew through, the gift of the relationship. Find the gold in the relationship, and then we let it go, right? We just don't go away in negative energy, right? It's really important to find the treasure in the relationship. But now your journey is a solo journey. It's a journey of healing. It's a journey of finding confidence in that. And I would say one thing here, we don't want to be jumping into the next relationship. This card confirms there's a bit of a process in getting to know yourself again. Okay. So yeah, so take the sound bathing workshop. Take some time to enjoy whatever modality of healing is resonating with you. And Dr. Prachi, it might be taking a cooking class, right? Healing doesn't have to come from some esoteric art. It could come from, studying with a master gardener. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? I would love to study with a master gardener. Or, taking a volunteer job at a garden center so you could learn and connect with the plants. And whatever your thing is, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be some esoteric healing art. There's lots of ways to consciously practice holistic healing. Okay. Well, these readings have been kind of amazing today, and I really want to thank the universe for how this is all kind of woven together, and how these readings have flowed and kind of reflected off one another. So know that your story is my story and our story, and we're all here to support one another. And I want to thank all of you that contributed to the chat in support of one another, because it just makes this space feel safe and truly supportive. Okay. All right. I may see some of you later. I will be back on this evening, and also I will be live in the Facebook group tonight. We're going to take the journey with the Weaver's Oracle in a little bit of a different direction. So I'll be on at 6 o'clock in my Facebook group with that. Okay. Take good care. Namaste.